back at it again with another YouTube video. It's your boy Uriah G, and today we're gonna react to moments that made WWE wrestlers visibly furious. I repeat, today we're gonna react to moments that made WWE wrestlers visibly furious. Let's get right into the video. Dang it!
10 WWE moments that made wrestlers visibly furious. Number 10, John Cena selling WrestleMania 23. WrestleMania 23 featured a classic matchup between John Cena and Shawn Michaels. Whilst fans loved the matchup, the same can't be said for HBK, who was disappointed and frustrated with Cena's lack of selling, so much so.
I remember this WrestleMania match. I mean, I had this on DVD. What is this, like WrestleMania 23 or 24 or something like that? I think it's 23. Gotta be 23, yeah.
That HBK refusing to shake Cena's hand was legitimately a shoot. Whilst this may have been the old HBK coming to surface once again, it was understandable that HBK may have been annoyed with Cena for such a key detail in the match. Thankfully, HBK was able to put any resentment to one side, and the two would work together numerous times throughout their careers, including in a 5-star classic rematch in April of 2007. Number 9, Charlie Haas's targeting SmackDown 2003. Eddie Guerrero was very much a perfectionist in the squared circle, and Charlie Haas found this out the hard way in 2003. During a match between the two on SmackDown, Guerrero informed Haas to ease off targeting his elbow, as Guerrero had been having problems with that specific body part. Unfortunately, Haas didn't listen, and he continued to target the body part. It's said that when the two went backstage, things got physical, and the two had to be separated. Number 8.
I'd be mad too. I'd be mad too. Like, are you trying to injure me on purpose?
Kevin Owens slaps Roman Reigns, Survivor Series 2022. During the 2022 Men's War Games match, Kevin Owens slapped Roman Reigns across the face, and whilst on the surface this seemed like a standard spot in the match, it caused Reigns to lose it. According to numerous reports, Reigns had a bruise under his left eye, and he potentially ruptured his eardrum. According to Dave Meltzer from the Wrestling Observer, the multi-time former world champion was very upset. During the match, there was a slap that Kevin Owens gave Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns had a bruise under his left eye, and he may have ruptured an eardrum.
He probably broke character. I haven't even seen this match. Like, I mean, I think I have seen a little bit of the match, like the ending or something like that. Because I think Bloodline won this match, but dang, he must have broke character.
There was definitely an eardrum injury. It was thought that it was a ruptured eardrum, but I did not get that confirmed. Roman Reigns was very upset and was very vehement about it and was yelling about it. It's more than just the fact that a slap got out of control and hit Roman Reigns and may have busted his eardrum. I think Roman Reigns felt that it was something that should not have happened in the match. Number 7, Hulk Hogan grabs Elizabeth, WWE live event 1989. In the late 80s, Hulk Hogan and Macho Man's feud on screen escalated into real life, and Macho Man infamously became paranoid regarding Hogan's affections towards Miss Elizabeth. At one live event in 1989, Hogan pulled Elizabeth into the ring, and this was the breaking point for Macho Man, as he believed that Hogan grabbed her wrist too hard. Hogan broke down this story during an interview on WWE.com. "I was supposed to grab Elizabeth by the wrist and pull her into the ring. All of a sudden, I ended up in the locker room with him in my face going, 'You grabbed her wrist too hard, brother. Who do you think you are?' It got crazy."
Well, bro, really? Like, this really happened, bro? Dang. Okay, so I'm guessing Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth were a real couple. That's what I'm guessing. If he was to get really upset at Hulk Hogan for that, then that means they had a real relationship. There's no way.
Crazy. All with good intentions, because that's how intense Randy was. We were at a live event once and they didn't have the steps for her to walk up the ring. She was in my corner at the time and she needed to get in the ring. When I leaned over to pick her up by the armpits, this superhuman feat of strength for me to pick this little lady up from the floor onto the apron, Randy yelled, "Hey brother, you grabbed her." Number 6, Vince McMahon retires SmackDown 2022. When Vince McMahon retired from the WWE in summer 2022, the majority of wrestlers were actually happy, as McMahon was prone to micromanage talent, and of course, the allegations surrounding him were too serious for McMahon to be involved in the company in any capacity. One WWE name who wasn't happy was Brock Lesnar, who, upon being told the news backstage at SmackDown, stormed out of the arena.
It's crazy because that man Brock is coming back, I think. Is he coming back to WWE? That's what they was talking about.
Teams in the WWE were able to convince Lesnar to come back, yet it just highlighted how strong the friendship was between Lesnar and McMahon. This story remained as an urban legend for a while, but that was until Triple H talked about the story during an interview with BT Sport, and the game confirmed its credence. It's just a different time now, and now that he has a moment to digest it, he digested it a little, came back to the building, we did business that night, had long conversations about where we would go next. He liked what he heard, like how he's been dealt with, and it's all good. Number 5. Fans heckle Maxine Dupree WWE Live Event 2023. Maxine Dupree has been working extremely hard to get better in the ring, yet a certain portion of the fan base decided to heckle her with negative chants during a live event. The fans in question heavily booed Maxine, and when she was heading to the backstage area, these negative chants continued, with one fan...
Yeah, I think I heard about her. She had gotten booed and the fans didn't like her about, I guess maybe she's just not a good wrestler. I don't know the backstory, but...
even telling her to never come back. The backlash to the antics of the inappropriate fans was substantial, as a strong portion of the WWE audience, as well as the majority of the women's roster, came to defend Maxine. Wrestlers such as Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch stood side by side with Maxine and confirmed that she had their support, and also stated how hard she is working to get better at her craft. Number 4, Carmella gets...
bro, why target a person and just criticize them, right when they start? She just started, so just let her get better, let her, practice, reach to the top of the company, she's just beginning.
Snubbed SummerSlam 2021. The initial advertised women's title match for SummerSlam in 2021 was Bianca Belair vs Sasha Banks. When Banks was removed from the match at the very last moment, WWE introduced Carmella as Belair's mystery opponent. This obviously upset fans, as this wasn't a SummerSlam-worthy matchup, and it was setting both women up for a failure. But WWE had a trick up their sleeves, and they were going to have a returning Becky Lynch show up and challenging Belair and ultimately win the women's title. According to Lynch in her autobiography...
didn't I watch that SummerSlam? I think I did.
She asked WWE if Carmella knew what the plans were for the pay-per-view matchup, and they told her they wanted to keep it a secret and that she would find out right before she went out the match. Lynch was having none of this, and she adored and respected Carmella, and she believed it was a total sham for WWE to set up Carmella like this. Lynch would then give Carmella a heads up, and even still, Lynch stated that she felt extremely guilty, and her return put Carmella in that position. Number 3, Brock Lesnar busts open Randy Orton at SummerSlam 2016. The 2016 SummerSlam main event saw Brock Lesnar take on Randy Orton.
And they're saying that when he did that, when he was punching him, elbowing him and all that, bro, that was real blood.
Infamously, the match saw Lesnar brutalize Orton with stiff and legitimate elbows. This resulted in Orton being busted wide open, and although this was completely scripted, one certain legend backstage was convinced that Lesnar was going into business for himself. Chris Jericho was outraged by Lesnar's stiff elbows, and he thought that Lesnar was shooting on a WWE great. Jericho demanded answers backstage, and when he wasn't getting a straight answer, he confronted Lesnar as soon as he came through the curtain.
Damn.
Jericho and Lesnar had a heated verbal confrontation.
Brock ain't going for that. Well, I mean, okay, you're a man for confronting him, but that's Brock Lesnar, bro. And he gonna break character anyway. He just can get mad. If a fan disrespects him, I bet you he'll get mad. So what makes you think if a wrestler is not gonna confront him, he's not gonna get mad? He is. But hey.
And Jericho was later informed that everything was planned and everything went ahead as the script for the match intended. Number 2, CM Punk returns Survivor Series 2023. The CM Punk returning to WWE for the first...
That's the GOAT right there. Everybody was like, is he gonna return? Is he gonna return? And he's here. He's back.
Time in almost a decade was a massive deal. Whilst fans were delighted to see...
We know I'm not trying to talk too much, but we know Seth Rollins is mad, but it's cool.
Punk back, the same couldn't be said for certain talents who were unaware that the former WWE champion was returning at the end of the 2023 Survivor Series event. One name who was legitimately furious was Seth Rollins. Rollins had a strong personal dislike of Punk, and he felt disrespected that he wasn't informed in advance of Punk's return. Rollins had to be physically restrained from coming after Punk, yet ultimately he was able to calm down, and now the two reportedly have a positive working relationship. Another name that wasn't exactly jumping for joy to see Punk back was Drew McIntyre. McIntyre, who also legitimately hated Punk, stormed to the backstage
I
area.
mean, come on, man. Like, bro, just because you left the company back in 2014 doesn't mean, oh, we're not going to forgive him and we're not going to bring him back. Like, bro, it's CM Punk.
And reportedly left early. McIntyre, similarly to Rollins, was able to put this bad blood aside. McIntyre and Punk have worked together in numerous segments since this notorious night in Chicago back in 2023. And number one, the booking of the WrestleMania 35 main event. There was uproar when Charlotte Flair was inserted into the WrestleMania 35 main event. Fans were actively pushing for the main event matchup to be Rousey versus Becky Lynch in a singles match, and Flair felt shoehorned in and only seemed to be inserted just so she could have another accolade added to her resume. The segment in which Flair was added to the match for the longest time was the most disliked video on WWE's YouTube channel, which goes to show just how much hatred the fans had towards the unwarranted plot twist. According to Becky Lynch in her autobiography, when they were putting the match together before WrestleMania 35, Flair got incredibly angry and frustrated, and she felt like she was being presented as the third wheel in the match. According to Lynch, Flair was on the verge of tears as the match was being laid out. Lynch would even state that the referee chimed in and informed Flair directly that she was indeed the third wheel in the match, which obviously didn't do anything to improve Flair's mood. But there you have it, folks.
Well, that was reacting to moments that made WWE wrestlers visibly furious. It was a good video, interesting. I got more videos coming. I got more reaction videos coming. Y'all tell me what y'all want me to react to next in the comments down below. Subscribe, like, comment, and yeah, Uriah out.